leopard gecker. Hi everyone, I'm Alex Swillman. You probably have no freaking clue who I am, but I wanted to start a channel just like about random stuff. So I'm actually about to start work on something really cool. I'll show you around like my little spot real quick. Here we have my little reptarium for Shimo. She is an albino leopard gecko. She's hanging out back there. And then we have this tank for Gigi. She is a bearded dragon. I was given this tank by a coworker who basically she had it because her ex-husband left it with her. And so me being experienced with reptiles, she gave it to me. And so now I'm going to build Gigi a new enclosure because this one, as large as it is not wide enough or tall enough and does not have a lot of things in it. So I'm going to make her something completely fresh. So to start, we have the base. It's made of PVC board, which is drilled together. And there's a little board here, which will be where the trail for the glass goes. This for support. The background is just there right now, don't worry about that. But we're gonna cover it up with an aluminum top to ventilate air and to put heat and UVB. And then the inside will be filled with substrate and all that, and I'll talk about that later. This is where everything's going to be connected to, whether that's inside or outside. The only key is figuring out what we're going to do with everything. Okay. All right, well, what do we got here? What do we got?
We have the foam board for the inside back wall.
Yeah, the back's going to be lined with foam board. We got 2 pieces, and then we got 2 more over here. We're going to cut those up and make like
the ledges.
Faux ledges, yeah. In this clip right here, I am putting spray adhesive on the back of foam and putting it on the back of the enclosure.
It's over there in that corner, it's not sticking.
So, we decided to cut up the rest of the foam board and turn it into like these staircase cliff pieces. And they're gonna like be segmented across the wall so she can like climb up on them. And then one at the end will be like a cold basking spot and a warm basking spot. And then throw some driftwood in there. Yeah, you'll see. So the newest part of our enclosure build, we're gonna cut, well I can't say we're gonna, we already are. Cutting the foam pieces, kind of like chopping them up so they look kind of like rocky in texture. Like kind of give it a little bit of like segment. What do you do?
I'm gonna spam myself.
See, the goal here is to make these foam pieces look like cliffs. And so we cut them into these kind of rocky, ridgy-esque areas to kind of give off that texture of stones and the desert. So next part, these beautiful thingies, they're gonna get painted like a brown color.
What color brown we want? Well, we're gonna have to mix it.
What are we doing now?
Mixing paint. Mixing out the brown paint. Again.
What makes brown paint for all those viewers out there who might do this incorrectly like we did the first time around?
Red, blue, and yellow.
Apparently red, blue, and yellow.
That's 3.
Pretty sure I didn't learn that when I was in primary school. I'm pretty sure it was other colors. Just saying.
We have the colors there right now. We got 3 different shades of brown. So, dark one is gonna go in the cracks. That one will be like the intermediate, and then the light one will be on top. Another cool thing we're doing here. Sorry. we're gonna put the sand with the paint to add kind of like a deserty texture. It's play sand, so it's it won't kill her. You don't want to do that, right? Drink the sand. So we painted all of them. This took like, how many hours did it take to paint all these?
I don't know.
A long time. It took a long time, but they're all done. They're drying now. Update on the tank. All of the step thingies are currently drying, and then we are going to use spray foam to seal it in place, and then we're going to paint that. So yeah, that's probably what you'll be seeing next. All right, for this next part, what are we doing?
So we're putting toothpicks in the back so that we can attach it to the back and see where we want everything to go.
Yeah, so as you see with that piece and that piece, we're taking the toothpicks and sticking them into the foam. And once that's done, we have like the spray foam that's going to seal it to the back. At this point, you're going to try to line these up like kind of like a cliff, because you obviously want to make a kind of stair system for your bearded dragon to climb, as if it were climbing up rocks on the side of a mountainscape. So you want to kind of make it like a staircase almost. And now we are using spray foam adhesive to create a back texture. And when this is all dry, you are going to sand it down. You're pretty much going to put this over the entire back and all of the cliffs. This will help keep them in place and add to that background texture to create the visual that you are looking for. And so as you can see here, we've sprayed it over the entire back. The only area you don't really need to use is the substrate. And then once this was done, we painted it with a kind of rocky gray color to kind of give off that gravelly texture and visual. And then once that was fully dried, we started to paint over that with a dirt brown type of color. We didn't cover the entire background with this. We kind of tried to make like an intermittent gradient, so it kind of looked more natural, because obviously rock patterns aren't the same color all over, and you kind of want to make it look like just a gradient of different colors. And once that is fully finished, you can just kind of throw in any other extra colors you want to, whether that's shading on the rocks, shading on the background, or whatever. All right, so now for the most difficult part of this whole thing. We're looking for driftwood to put in the enclosure, so she'll have like some climbing area. The hunt going, Mum. Not great. Not great, but we're working on it. Currently climbing under a bridge to get to the wood.
This is the illustrious Alex in nature. Okay, searching for some driftwood.
I've been here for like 30 minutes.
I know.
But I got some wood, so we're good.
More to come.
I successfully made it under the bridge. It's a pretty far distance I went both ways. I went that way and the other way. It took me like 30 minutes, but got some pretty big pieces of wood and some small ones for climbing functionality, but should be good. So I'll see you on the top. All right, Mom, tell everybody what to do if they get driftwood out of rivers, so they don't just put it in there.
So from what we've been told, there's lots of parasites in the wood. I guess there's a couple things you can do. You can either soak it in bleach water for a few days and then let it dry out. Also seen some other people that just will bake it for a couple hours at, I think, 300 degrees or something. That'll help as well. But sometimes if the wood gets really dry, it can catch on fire. So maybe this was the best way to go. It takes a little bit longer.
Yeah.
But hopefully this ensures that any bad bugs don't make it.
You may be wondering, what's Gigi doing during all of this? She's eating, munching on some salad with some sewer worms in there just to make her feel good. Because she needs a treat. Such a good girl. Come on, get it. Alright, what's happening now?
Right now I am assembling some pieces of driftwood together and screwing them in a bit so that it won't come out. It won't move, hopefully.
Once you've got your wood cured, you're going to stick it in wherever you want inside the enclosure to kind of give off that driftwood looking vibe. And then you're going to glue them down or drill them down, whatever works. We actually did both to create maximum security. Right here, you can see we are drilling them in to create a hide area. Gigi is going to be able to climb this up and go to the basking area. And there's also going to make a little bit of a canopy to function as a hide for her. And as you can see, there's a little bit of a piece of wood on top so that if she wants to go out and perch above everything and kind of look down, she can. And then we're making a hide on the opposite side to create a little bit of equality. And here you can see we have it drilled in and glued in.
So we made Gigi a TP.
GGTP.
But it's cool because we're thinking that can be her hide area. So we're going to take a leftover piece of carpeting that we had from Shima's house, and I think we're going to cut it and maybe put it here like in a triangle where it will cover it over. She can still go in and she can come out, but it'll be a little hidey hole.
Yeah, like a cave.
So that's our next plan.
Here we are covering the cloth with the wood and securing it down so it'll create kind of a cave-ish effect over top. And now it is fully secured. And so now we're going to drill that in place to make sure that it will not move, and it will go through both the cloth and both pieces of wood to create a fully secured fortress for Gigi to stay in whenever she feels like hiding, because it's not very visible in there, so she should be relatively covered up and able to go. It's at this point I start mixing up the substrate, so I'm going to use play sand and put this in with some cocoa fiber. Okay, next up. So, you are going to put your cocoa fiber and play sand into a large basin. This is the plastic basin I got. This is where I used to house my yellow belly sliders until I was able to give them an actual enclosure. So anyway, you got your cocoa fiber here. And a little note about this fiber. You do not want this to be wet. You want it to be dry, okay? So what I did was I put it in the oven on about 350. I put it in the oven on about 350 for like 25 minutes. So it'd be completely dry, both of them. And I got my play sand again, not real sand. And so now I'm gonna put these three in the basin, and then I'm gonna mix it up, okay? Then you're gonna dump it all in the bucket and mix it up very, very well. Make sure that it's nice and mixed up. It should create sort of a dirt brown color by the end, and it's gonna look somewhat bronzish, and so that's how you know you'll have it mixed up, because it won't be one or the other color, but instead a mixture of both. And then you're gonna pour it all in there. I had to use a spatula to get it in. I didn't have anything else to do with, but you're gonna pour it in and try to mix it in variably so it'll go everywhere it needs to. And you can see I'm putting this part on the hide and the rocks on the inside as well to create that stair-ish ramp area for her to go inside and crawl down into. And then we're putting the rocks in on the other hide as well to create a little bit of a hide so that she can't be seen when she goes back there. And then I'm gonna mix her on the substrate a little bit, throw some on the glue and whatever that's not covered up, and just try to make it an even ground for her to walk on.
Gonna fill in these ugly holes a little bit, and then when that dries, I'm gonna paint this, and then probably tomorrow evening I'll put the net on it, and
What's
then
the net made out of?
Well, right now I have screen from an old screen door, so it's probably gonna be that.
Okay. How you putting the top on? What's the top supposed to be?
So this is the top. It's a frame right now, but it'll have netting in it. And then on the back, I'm gonna put 2 hinges so that the top can actually come open like this if we want to. And it'll have a hook and an eye on the front to hold the top down. That's the plan. So after trying to figure out the track situation and me looking at 4 different local stores,
West Virginia sucks.
yeah, nobody carries plastic sliding door track. So I have these old, they were supposed to be drawers to fit into an entertainment center that we have. And they just so happen to have this nice groove right here. I don't necessarily think that this groove is wide enough, but I have the ability to put several of them together end to end to get the 48 inches for a wooden track that I need, and then I can take a little bit out. So the plan is to cut down what I don't need and make 2 sets of these and widen out the track a little bit so that the sliding doors can go down in them. And then I'm also going to cut them down to about 1.25 inches right here so that they fit down into the area that we've already made on the front of the reptile enclosure. So we had a couple old screen doors that we weren't being used. So what we're doing now is we just remove the spline, and Alex is taking the screen out, and that's going to be the screen for our cover.
Yep.
So yesterday we were talking about what we were going to use for the slide, and I said that we had found these old drawer pieces that I was going to use. I don't have a table saw. Unfortunately, I would love to have one, but
Yeah, that's right.
so what I did was I basically took the saw. As you can see, I marked my line, and when I go into the area that I want, I see that I have this much where the brace is for the saw sticking over on the wood. So I'm just going to take this piece and I'm going to set it here where that brace starts. Conveniently, the edge of it is here in this groove, so I can just stick my piece in that groove a little bit, and that gives me the space right here between this brace that I'm going to use. Honestly, I forget what they call it. We'll have to find that out, because on the actual table saw, there's a brace stop on the back. So that's what I'm using this for, is my brace stop. And then I'm just going to take the clamps, put it on the back side of it, clamp it down.
Okay.
That way the clamps don't get in the way of my saw.
Sure.
Clamp it down like that. That way, when I set it on the edge of the table, this is my backing brace, my guide. That's the word I'm looking for.
Yeah.
My guide, so that I don't have to try to figure out if I'm going to go out of line or not. Watch how fast this goes. And that cuts my perfect piece because I have that guide in place. So we're doing that with all the pieces to cut off the inch that we need for the channel where our doors are going to go.
Nice.
Okay, so as you can see, I've pre-drilled all my holes. Don't know if anybody knows much about woodworking, but definitely helpful so that the wood doesn't split. And we're going to attach the hinges.
As you can see, the hinges are now attached, and this will allow you to open the top so that if you need to change anything on the top, you can. And now the railings for the track have been installed on the bottom so that you can put in your glass and you'll be able to scoot that back and forth. We also added a hook to the top so that it can secure the top so that it won't be able to move. What are you doing there, Mother?
I cut the plexi and it's a little bit jagged. So I'm smoothing it down a little bit with some sandpaper.
Yep. Yeah, we forgot to mention that we're not using real glass, we're using plexiglass.
Yeah. A little bit too thick. Man, I'm not gonna try it this way. Gotta get it up in there. There's one. The other one's going
Door is in. It won't slide. I got a handle on it, but then it'll slide.
Okay, so I was getting the plexiglass doors ready. Originally I tried to just glue the handles on with some Loctite cement, and that didn't work too well. So I actually put tape around where I wanted to drill a hole, drilled very slowly, and then put the handles on with a screw. Put them up in there and cleaned them, and then so the reason why I put the black tape here is it kind of ties in with down here a little bit. That's just to cover up some imperfections in the plexiglass. But some of the netting, the pieces on the end, the tips were sharp and they were sticking out. So I went ahead and just kind of fashioned this piece of tape over top of it to like hold those pieces in. And also, this is a closure. So I'd actually bought one of these and it was too long. So what I did was we went ahead and still used the eye hook at the bottom, and I just used another eye hook that I had here at home, and I took a piece of a wire coat hanger and just bent it to fit in place. So if you push down and you pull, it comes open, and then you can see under there where the black tape goes to. So it's hiding those pieces of netting that were sharp.
Nice.
And then you just push down and rehook it so that keeps anything from coming up. And what I'm doing right now is I kind of discovered when I was cutting the plexiglass, it didn't exactly come out super square. You have to cut through it about 20 times with a utility knife. Probably a lot less if you're a lot stronger, but I'm a girl, so it took a while. But when I actually closed them to the edge, there was a little bit, about a 1/4 inch gap on the side. So what I'm doing right now is I just cut down a couple strips of leftover wood that I have, and I'm just going to put them on the edge so that they cover those 1/4 inch gaps on the edge so nothing can crawl out or jump out or whatever. And then we're just going to drill these into place and paint them. And with the exception of Alex's new sign, she's done.
So the pieces, they're screwed in on the sides, door's all good, roof is good, everything on the inside is good. Now there's only one more step, and that's to plug in lighting, thermometers, and everything needed to make sure this remains a stable environment. And then I throw in my 100-watt heat bulb, as well as a UVV bulb and a ceramic heat emitter to create extra heat. And then you're gonna see I throw in my thermometers to make sure that the heat is ideal. You want it between 95 and 105 degrees and about 30% humidity. Oh, next part is this lovely sign that I got for her. And as you can see, I have drilled it onto the front, and it's gonna hang down in front of the enclosure to make it look nice and new. You know, I did all that, but I feel like we're missing something. I know what it is. The dragon, of course. And there's your new home, Gigi. Hope you enjoy.
Whipping out the candles. Is she in?
She's right there.
My tail stuck.
Now, Gigi's in the closure. It's gonna take her a while to get settled into her new place, but I think she'll like it. We have hides for her, digging areas, climbing opportunities, and ideal heating. So, I think she's gonna like it a lot. So, thank you all for watching. Just remember, these are suggestions. You don't have to do what we did, but I think we did a pretty good job, right? So, enjoy your new enclosure, Gigi, and let us know what you think. All right.
Bye, guys. Thanks for watching.
Leave a like, comment, and subscribe for more reptile videos. I'll be posting ones as much as I can. I'm hoping to find a schedule, so yeah. Say bye, Gigi.